Look what I found.
Generation Tech, the weekly videocast for your inner geek, bringing you the hottest tech news from around the world. Brace yourselves, the show's about to start. It's Generation Tech. Here's your hosts, Rich Nieto and Matthew Burrows.
And what's up, guys? Thanks for joining episode 19 of Generation Tech. It's September 19th, 2014. And you know what that means? It's iPhone launch day. And the tech world is in a complete craze today. So, Matt, what's going on with you, man?
Nothing much, man. Watching all these noobs with their iPhones. But very exciting for all those Apple users and iOS fans out there. Brand new iPhones. Everyone can finally get their hands on the iPhone 6 Plus and all those great gadgets.
Yes, the long-awaited iPhone 6, long rumored. I feel like every show early on we were talking about little rumors here and there about the iPhone 6, and it finally came out. Last Friday, as you all know, was a pre-order for the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. It went on pre-order at midnight Pacific time. I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. There were a ton of freaking issues. I mean, I'm lucky I got my 6 Plus. I was able to get one ordered. Everyone else, it's like mid-October. Now it's November, so it's pretty crazy. And stores got very limited stock of the iPhone 6 Plus. So if you got one, you're really lucky.
Or if you got 3, like one gentleman.
Yes, or if you got 3, you know. But whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I went to the store a little early because I did the pickup pre-order thing. And I got to this Apple store around 7 o'clock. They opened up at 8 o'clock. And there wasn't much of a line for the pre-orders. I mean, it was probably about 10 deep by the time I got there. But on the other side was a line for everyone else, the people that were camping out the night before. I heard the first person that lined up was there 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. So
No thanks.
Yeah, exactly. No thanks.
Phone's not worth that.
No, it definitely is not. The most interesting part I found is that most of the line was, I mean, no attempt to be racist or anything, but most of them were Asian, trying to raisins were trying to basically they resell their phones, they send it back to China or whatever, they sell it on eBay, and
you missed out the term scalpers.
You just resellers, whatever, same thing. But my wife went to the bathroom in the mall, and she found a bunch of business cards littered all over the place, and they were actually business cards to buy you a new iPhone 6, and it told you what number to call. I even tweeted out the picture if you guys are following me on Twitter. So,
which, by the way, are below our picture.
That's right there for your easy access. But yeah, I thought it was really quite the experience because it was my first Apple launch experience, like launch day. Mm-hmm. And it was fun. You know, I talked to the guys that were around me. We were all excited. It was a good time, but I would not camp out. I mean, I don't care how much I love a device, how much I love Apple. I don't care what it is. If it's an Xbox, if it's a PlayStation, Black Friday, no thanks.
All the people who actually cared enough got the pre-orders, so all those other people were just like, oh, maybe I'll just get the iPhone and make $300, $400 by scamming someone on eBay.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of that, I went. My band teacher, he's planning on getting the iPhone, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I bet you could find some ridiculous prices for him on eBay." So we went on eBay in class, and we found one for $2,800. I think.
I believe it.
It was a silver or gray iPhone 6 Plus, 128 gig.
Wow.
$2,800. What the hell? And I'm sure people will actually buy this stuff.
Oh yeah, dude. I go on Mac Rumors all the time on the forums, and people are selling their pre-orders for $2,500 and up for the Plus. I mean,
so stupid.
If I didn't care about the phone that much, I would sell it, man. But I'm not gonna go ahead and use extra upgrades to sell them because I have an extra upgrade I could use. But I'm not gonna just buy it and sell it. I mean, to make an extra couple of dollars? It's not worth it. But the other interesting thing is that if you were one of the few people that are actually getting your iPhone delivered There's a crazy amount of Apple people that are out there, and if you want to look over here, I had this article. People actually track flights that go from China to America. They stop along Anchorage, Alaska. This is a common route. And you track where your iPhone is. I remember doing this back with the iPhone 5. But yeah, this is how dedicated some people are, where they're actually tracking every inch of the way from the iPhone, from the factory to the house. So
yeah, it's like, dude, that's kind of, I don't know. I wouldn't like that. It's too much anticipation.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be literally thinking about it every second of the day, and I don't know. I mean, that makes the wait even tougher. Just like when you're a kid for Christmas, you know, if you just forget about Christmas, then it comes faster.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Xfinity said he found the 128 gigabyte iPhone 6 for almost $1,300. So even the Canadians are going crazy with the iPhones.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like stupid prices.
And then if you see in Australia for their launch,
this
guy thought he was slick, all right? And then he goes to...
All right, so
go ahead, tell us.
This is the first guy in all of Australia to get an iPhone. The first guy. Like, this is their main Apple store that opens up. And he's the first dude. News people run out and they're like, "Oh, check it out!" This dude's trying to unbox it on camera.
So excited, and he drops it. Oh my god!
Freaking face down shatters. I'm like,
and it literally.
And you hear everybody in line. They're all like, "Oh!"
And it literally shattered because I saw after pictures of the phone and the complete shattering of the screen. And they're not gonna allow you to return it. I don't care how much you beg them, they're not going to let you exchange it.
It's almost as bad when the Xbox One and PS4 were released. Or mainly the PS4, this is a problem. The handle on the box would actually break and people would just drop their console.
That was on the Xbox. The Xbox One, because the box was so heavy and large that, that was...
It was like, I would probably cry.
Oh, yeah, dude. Forget about it.
I don't even care. Rich walks out, he's like...
Dude. I would have cried.
Especially if it was the Plus.
Yeah. Oh.
Like,
dude, when I walked out of the store, because I was actually, forgot to mention, I was the first one at my local Apple store to walk out with an iPhone, because they let the pre-orders in first, and I don't know, somehow I got out first. So I walked by the entire line with the iPhone box and bag in my hand, and everyone just staring at me. And then after a while, I started taunting them. I started waving it like, "Yeah, I got it. What up, yo? Bitches."
If he dropped it, I would have fucking died.
I was scared because I had to walk in the mall and it was still kind of closed at that point.
Yeah.
And I was watching behind me. Kelly was with me, and you hear stories of people stalking situations like this, and they'll walk up behind you, just snatch the bag out of your hand. So I was ready, man. I was like, "Yo, if anyone comes up to me, I'm gonna freaking knock them out, man. Fuck that shit."
Just throw the bag at him. Just take the iPhone and run.
Forget it. So someone tried that. They would regret it.
Dude, it happens.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see the recent story about Craigslist? Some guy was buying a PS4 like off of another dude, or the dude was selling it, and he met up with him in a parking lot. And the guy who was supposedly buying it, he walked up, shot him in the head, took his PS4.
Ooh, all right, that's a little extreme, but
like what? Well, that's just a PS4. That's only $400, and it's a couple months old, like almost a year old.
Yeah,
it's like this is a brand new iPhone.
Well, people get a little crazy when it comes to technology. Now, I'll be the first to tell you I'm up there, but not quite that crazy, okay? I want to think I'm a little sane.
Yeah, I won't shoot somebody for your iPhone, so, I mean...
Yeah.
If you want to be friends, we can share iPhones. I don't have an iPhone, but we can share. We can still share.
Yes.
I won't shoot you in the head.
But I got home safely. It was in my car. I put it in the seat.
Did you buckle it in?
I wanted to, but it's too small, so I couldn't buckle in. It wasn't like an Xbox box. But got home safely. I made sure I drove really slow to make sure, because you never know.
You're more worried about the iPhone than the $80,000 or $60,000 Audi. It's
a little bit of both. But anyway, got it home and I unboxed it. And if you follow me on YouTube, which I'm sure you are if you're watching this video, you can see my unboxing video. I did it as soon as I got home, really quickly, and uploaded it. And this thing, I am in love with this. I love how it feels in the hand. Let me go to a close-up of me. I don't think it's big. I mean, granted, it's a big phone. There's no way around it. But it's after a couple of days, you can get used to it. I like it a lot better than the Note in terms of how you hold it and its usability in one hand. Just the rounded edges really help out a lot. And typing on it with two hands, or even just one hand, but two hands, it's an absolute dream. I love it. The extra real estate, love it. You could have it in landscape mode. You have dual windows. There's not too many apps that are optimized for the 6 Plus yet, so give it time. But
well,
go ahead.
Sorry. Well, like with optimization, are you talking about the halving of the screen? Is that what you're talking about, or like size-wise in general? Like how when the iPads first came out, they would still have iPhone apps and it would just be like this big on the screen?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Both, because not a lot of apps have the dual screen like this right here for the Mail app, which is obviously native, so that's obviously going to work. Third-party apps don't have that. But if you open up another third-party app, you see everything's just blown up and it's not high-res. It's not optimized for the 1080p screen. So it's both I'm talking about. It's not optimized at all, which is unfortunate. But, that's something to expect from a day one launch. App developers haven't had a chance to do it. But I'm sure after a couple of weeks, especially the big apps like Facebook and Twitter, Tweetbot, I'm sure in the next week, 2 weeks, it'll all be optimized.
Because I'm sure half of them in their offices are using this phone. So,
exactly.
they're all going to be like, all right, I got to make this work.
Yeah.
And
if it's not for the customers, it's for themselves and their friends. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
If you're a developer, I'm sure you want to rush at it. But But yeah, man, I'm so happy to have this phone. I put a screen shield on it, like right after I unboxed it. I got this Spigen completely clear case, and it adds really no bulk onto it. It's completely covered, pretty much all and every inch and millimeter on it. So don't have anything to worry about unless I drop it, which I mean, there's always something to worry about. But yeah, it's been a great day. Now, I was waiting for another phone for my wife to come in, and hers was for delivery. And I guess I'm on a tail end of my UPS route, so literally it just came about 40 minutes ago. It's 8:30 now, so about 7:30, 7:50 came, and here we go. Here it is.
Oh, we're live.
iPhone 6 Gold. No, this is not the 128. It's a 64 gigabyte because she doesn't need all that space. So I'm gonna do a live unboxing for you guys. All right.
Let's get a slow clap.
Let's get a slow clap. Let's get a close up of this. So let me just.
I know you guys like this. Nice crisp unboxings.
Right. So I just opened
up.
Oh.
While we're unboxing.
Yes.
What do you think of the packaging? I like it. They made the packaging even sleeker than before because they made it almost plastic wrap or almost shrink wrap around the design of the phone. So it allows the cover of the box to actually go lower than the phone.
Well, it's raised slightly bit. The big difference.
So it's not.
Go ahead.
It's not like shrunk around the phone.
No. It actually has a bump outlining the area of the phone, but normally in old boxes, the previous iPhone boxes, you'll have a color display, a printout of the phone, apps, and stuff like that. This one is just white. I mean, you can barely even tell what's there. You have iPhone on the side. This is gold because obviously it's a gold iPhone. Silver if it's a silver one. And it's like a dark gray for the space gray iPhone. But there's really nothing to the box. And I'm guessing to save on ink. I mean, I don't really know what the purpose of it is.
Or to ruin people's eye shrines.
Yeah, dude. I mean, this thing will stand out in my eye shrine. All right, so it's definitely a lone wolf in terms of design for that. So let's.
People are gonna be like, "Oh, what box is that for?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well.
So let's open this.
This is my iPhone 6 Plus.
Baby up right there. See, I don't do it the retarded way like this guy did on the Australian. Like,
dude, he was like shaking it, and the lady's like the news lady's like holding underneath, and it's like, and he like flings it, and the freaking whole box just goes.
Yeah, no, that's not how you do it. You gotta savor the moment. Okay, let's do that again in slow motion. All right, you gotta let the air compress out And voila! That's all there is to it, guys. I'm an unboxing pro when it comes to Apple devices. All right, so take a word from me. All right. Same thing with the MacBook Air, MacBook Pros and stuff like that. It's all the same shit. All right. So here's the phone. So much smaller. I held this in the Apple Store, the 6, and it's a nice size. Don't get me wrong, but I'm so much happier with the 6 Plus. So let's put this aside for now. I'll show you that afterwards. You lift this up, and the interesting thing is this little cutout has an opening for the camera, because obviously the camera sticks out now from the iPhone 6. So that's interesting to note. Apple in California, right there. You open this up, and I noticed this in my previous unboxing. The little pamphlet is also in black and white. Meanwhile, this is usually in color. So that's another thing. I guess they're cutting corners.
Maybe they're realizing that people don't give a crap about that stuff anymore.
Maybe. But I think the actual box on the outside, they should have made a little bit more colorful. But that's just me. Apple stickers. I mean, I have literally a billion of these things. So maybe I'll do it on a giveaway or some shit at some point.
Yeah, you literally have a stack.
I do.
Wait, did you throw them all out?
I have them in my closet.
Okay, because I was like, dude, don't throw them out.
I want to say literally I have like maybe 50 or 60 of these things. So anyway,
Rich, we should just we should go out to your Audi and
plaster it with Apple stickers.
Sticker wrap it,
dude.
in Apple stickers.
I've seen cars where like the back windshield has like maybe 20 Apple stickers. I'm sorry, dude. I'm an Apple fan, but no thanks.
No, like maybe one, maybe.
No,
but I don't like to put stickers on the back of my car.
Yeah, no, I am a clean car person. I don't want anything on there except for license plates.
Well, yeah, you have a lease and you have a nice.
Not even the lease. Like, it doesn't matter about that. It's.
I know, but you have a nice car. You're not driving like a freaking Subaru.
Exactly. But anyway, in the box, typical stuff. You have the headphones, you have the AC adapter, and a typical lightning cable. So that's that for the unboxing. But let me just show you the actual phone itself. Some reason this gold looks a little bit more yellowish than the 5S gold. I don't know. It looks a little brighter or bronzer, yellower, more saturated. Like when you look,
it's like a more cheesy looking gold. It's like the gold leaf on the side of books. That's what I was comparing it as.
Not that gold, not that gold, definitely. But the 5S gold, at times you couldn't even tell it was gold. Like under a lot of lighting conditions, you couldn't even tell if it was silver or gold. So this you can definitely tell it's gold. So that's one thing to note. But I really like the white face. I kind of regret not getting the silver one. But I'm happy with the space gray. It's sick looking. I mean, you can't go wrong with either one. This is for my wife, obviously. She loves the gold, so I'll set this up for her after the show. Let's put this aside and get along.
So, we were talking about, before we did the unboxing, the screen size and how you liked it. Now, Gizmodo has a pretty cool write-up on how apps are going to be now. You're going to see designs going for, when they're going for the big screens, designs are going to be more focused on where the thumb can travel. So Gizmodo has a cool little graphic, which has the iPhone 4S sizes all the way up to 6 Plus. And it's showing you how, like, even though we have all this screen real estate, people are going to be designing these apps to work with your thumb still. And obviously the orange is for the stretching areas. And I'm pretty sure that's a pretty big hand. I mean, that's a decent sized hand to be able to like use that whole screen. But I think that we're going to be seeing a lot of apps being made for the bigger screens and then being kind of toned down for the smaller screens. Because it makes more usability, makes more sense. Because with the Apple going to the bigger screen, I think a lot of these companies are going to be following now. So
yeah, and if you look at the natural side and the stretch and the out parts of the screen, it's more than just the developers stretching out everything. They have to strategically place the most used buttons in places that you're going to go and navigation. So they really need to get hands-on with these phones and actually see how ergonomic is the phone. Because don't get me wrong, when you have both phones, you hold them differently. Because this one, you have your thumb more in the middle of the screen, as opposed to this, you have it more towards the bottom half of the screen. So they really need to think, how is it held? How should we design our UI for this app? And what's the easiest way to navigate it? Obviously the least used buttons will go in the parts where you have to really stretch your hand or your finger. So that would make sense, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's just going to make, like, Apple's kind of getting around this right now for all the apps that don't offer this or don't have this level of design yet, with the double tap of the home button that brings down the screen. But I think over time you'll end up using that less and less, because companies will realize, okay, people are not going to want to keep stretching their hand across, so let's try to make it flow design-wise and make it usable. So
exactly. Honestly, the first step is just for them to optimize for the screen, because it looks a little blurry. It's not exactly the most eye candy stuff to use, but especially when you get a new phone, you want things to look nice and be able to use the 1080p screen and stuff like that. So that's a little.
You guys are at the whopping 1080p now.
Yeah,
so.
no, right? You got the 2560 by 1440 LG G3. So sorry.
Dude, what's the iPhone 6? It's
a 720.
Right above 720.
It's
right?
750 technically, but yeah, that's this small differences between the two. Obviously, the resolution. The other thing is the bigger battery, as Xfinity mentioned in the chat. Bigger battery in the 6 Plus, and the other thing the 6 Plus has is the image stabilization in the camera. When you're moving around and you're taking video, it actually moves around on a little. I don't know what it is. What's
gyroscope?
Not a gyro. Well, kind of, I guess, but it kind of floats around and it doesn't just stay stationary. So there's a lot of
It's almost like a shock mount.
Yes, like that, like one of those mounts that you have your camera on. You could hold it. So
gravity kind of pulls it around.
Exactly. So it's that kind of idea. So I saw the difference between the two. I mean, it's subtle, but it's good to have. And that also makes it so that it's better under low lighting conditions. It takes better low light pictures because it's able to actually grab everything while it's still, instead of it's jittering around. It's trying to get orientated. So and it also has a better autofocus than the 6 Plus. So if you're big with the camera, 6 Plus is also a way to go. Personally, I think the 6 Plus is the way to go, as long as you are okay with holding it. I mean, obviously that's a big thing, but I don't think it's as what.
This is all what she said.
Yes, I know. It's all what she said.
You're just going to be comfortable with holding it, Just get your hands right around the thing, grapple right on.
Because I see this kid at the corner of my eye, he's chuckling. I'm like, oh, here we go. That's what she said. But yeah, seriously, I mean, I don't think it's as big of a deal as people are making it out to be. Oh my god, it's weird holding this my head. It's like so ginormous. It's weird. It's really not. It's try it in Apple Store. Hold both.
Just hold both.
Just hold both. On both sides, and just be like, oh shit, which one should I have? Like that. Exactly like that, right? But anyway, so. You said if you were to get an iPhone, you would get the 6 Plus, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm a pretty big kid. Right here, some might have a calculator similar. The nice, reliable Texas Instruments TI-86.
Old school, man. Old school.
This is a pretty big calculator. And my hand can easily go from top to bottom. And, so it's... I don't know. I can hold... I'd be fine with a phone this size. I could easily use it. But my phone's the same size as the iPhone 6 Plus, screen-wise anyway. But the bezels on top and bottom are a little bit thinner, so it's a little bit shorter of a phone. But I'm really used to this now. What I upgraded from was this thing, which is more similar to an iPhone 5 or 5S. So it's pretty nice. But yeah, I definitely pick up the iPhone 6 Plus. Definitely worth it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I really would have regretted it if I did not get the 6 Plus. So, choose wisely, hold both in the Apple Store. Actually, try them out for maybe a couple minutes. Don't just be like, oh, this is too big, forget it. It takes time getting used to. I went through the same thing when I got the Note 3. It took a couple of days, but it's not that bad, honestly. You're
So now that you have the Note 3, which is a same size, pretty much same size Android phone, and an iPhone 6 Plus, you're pretty much on the ultra big screen phone team, I guess.
dude, I'm gonna be loading a lot in my pockets. All right, all puns intended. It's not gonna be a comfortable walk with having one on this side of my pocket, one on my left pocket.
I don't notice mine actually after a while because I just have my wallet, my keys, and my phone. And this doesn't really protrude my pocket as much as people would think. So
Yeah,
you get used to it.
You really do. It's just a matter of getting used to it. But enough about that. Let's talk about iOS 8 a little bit. That was also released last week, and there were some nice little upgrades. You know, especially if you're a Mac user, there's that continuity and handoff stuff, which is amazing. I mean, when someone calls you, it'll call you. You can answer it on your Mac. We talked about this numerous times. I've been beta testing Yosemite and iOS 8 for a while, so I'm kind of gotten used to the features. But for everyone that's new, if you're a Mac user, iOS 8 is awesome. I mean, Yosemite's not out yet, obviously, so you can't really use those features yet. But iOS 8, it's a nice little upgrade. I mean, it's not a huge leap as iOS 7 was, but definitely go for it unless you have like an iPhone 4 or something. I've heard it's kind of, it's really going to drain your battery and diminish performance.
I think even the 4S was kind of getting hit a little bit.
Yeah.
But they didn't have big batteries at all. So.
Yeah. But you know what? At least they offer it. Granted, a lot of the features are not available on the older phones because obviously the hardware is not capable of handling it. But it's not like Android where they just completely, like 1-year-old phones, they just completely forget about you, you know? So that's one thing that has it going for it. But my cousin Sean is watching the stream. You have an iPad first generation, the one I showed you a couple of years ago, man. What are you, stuck on iOS 5? I mean...
That thing must be slow.
Yeah, dude.
No cameras.
No cameras. It's like
friggin' things thicker than my calculator.
It's ancient. Time to. Well, he wants to get an iPhone Plus, so iPhone 6 Plus, so that will eliminate a need for an iPad. And I completely understand. I have an iPad Mini, and I don't think I need to travel with it anymore. This thing is all I really need. I love it.
Now you can use the restroom and watch videos.
Yeah.
And not worry about not being able to see crap.
There you go. I mean, jeez.
That's all I do. I just watch YouTube videos, man. Makes the time go by.
Yeah, I don't know how people do that. When I go to the bathroom, I'm in, out, thank you, ma'am. I don't want to mess around.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, man.
Moist towelette.
I'm not there to fool around. I don't watch movies, read.
You just like to hold both.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Anyway. So another big thing about iOS 8 is you can actually change the keyboard finally. I know, Android users, you guys have been enjoying this for years now. But let us have our moment, okay? Swipe and SwiftKey, amazing. I've been using SwiftKey on my Note, and it's a godsend. It's such a time saver when it comes to inputting text. Have you been using SwiftKey?
So, yeah, I can actually show you something real quick. So, with LG, they have obviously a little mask, or a, how do you want to say it? I don't know, overlay for their like text stuff, if that makes sense. Yeah. So if I go under, I'm just going to go into my settings real quick on my phone. And if you go under general and let's see, language and input, I have SwiftKey installed. Or no, sorry, I have a different keyboard installed. I have Key, K-I-I. It's I like this keyboard better because you can actually set up how it looks a little bit more with custom themes and stuff. And you can actually choose different themes according to which OS you want. So I have it set up for KitKat, which is what I like, stock KitKat. But what comes with LG is like a masked thing. So I recommend Key, K-I-I, on Play Store if you have an Android device. I don't know if they have it for OS X yet, or sorry, iOS. But definitely give it a try. Definitely worth it. So I don't use SwiftKey, but I use it.
Well, I've heard of Key, but I've never used it. I've used SwiftKey for a while. I bought the Pro version on Android. I don't know if there's a free version, but I bought it, and it's completely worth it. I love it, and I used it on the iPhone. It's really good. I mean, you know, for especially a first try at it, Obviously, got to tinker a little bit, but it's great, and I can't wait for it to be available on the iPad. So,
Yeah. But what's funny is because SwiftKey is really modeled off of Android, how it looks like on Android, and it's funny seeing an almost Android keyboard on iOS now.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Well, a lot of things are starting to look a little more Android-y on the iPhone. So there are some widgets. I mean, they're not. I wouldn't call them widgets. There's not apps that support it yet. But on your home, on your notifications menu, if you look over here where you have your weather, you have your calendar. Eventually there'll be little widgets here. Like for sports scores through ESPN app and stuff like that. So they're getting there. Widgets here and there would be nice to have finally.
Yeah.
But yeah, little things like that make a big difference, And we're finally bridging the gap between iOS and Android. Obviously,
a little bit.
iOS is always going to be behind, but I'd rather them take their time and polish it, whereas Android, they just go for it and you feel all the bumps along the way. I don't really care for that,
It's kind of like a developer test kit all the time.
Yeah. I mean, they have the NFC, and now iPhone has NFC and Apple Pay. So let's see how that goes the next week when it's actually able to be used and downloaded. I'm looking forward.
Are you going to use that right away?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm really looking forward to being able to not have to carry my credit cards on me. Obviously, initially, I'll definitely carry them just in case, because who knows if it actually works. And also,
plus not all stores will offer it.
That too. So I'll still need to carry like one credit card with me at least. But
I'm gonna set up Google Wallet. I've actually yet to set that up.
Yeah, give it a try. Let me know what it's like.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so I guess that's pretty much it for iOS, iPhone, and OS X stuff for this show. Now we're going to kind of leave off on a weird topic. It's kind of an unexpected topic. But Microsoft, if you guys don't know, last Friday, they kind of revealed and announced the official stuff that Microsoft bought Minecraft for $2.5 billion.
Billion.
With a capital B. Like, that's a lot of money. And they're buying the entire IP, the entire brand, and it's not just Minecraft. It's Mojang, wherever you live. So they got a couple other games, and they also have all the employees there, which are all the developers for Minecraft. But hopefully, they said that they're not going to be changing any of the rules, any of the development processes that are going to be going through with Minecraft, which is good for Minecraft YouTubers. And also, they said that it should still be influenced by the original developers a little bit, but now they actually have an entire teams on teams to develop for this game and add different things, which is very cool. And
so to me, Minecraft is more than just a game. I mean, it really is a whole culture, because they have was it MinesCon?
Well, we can talk about that too. They didn't plan. They kind of adverted a Minecon this year, and that's because they've been planning for quite a long time to be bought out by Microsoft. I don't know if you remember earlier this year, the EULA, how they adjusted that so that servers cannot make money by selling things out of their game, like certain perks. Right. That was because Microsoft requires that for any IP that they buy. They have to have like a constructed EULA that will fit their requirements as a company. So that was all just part of the process of ramping up to be bought out by Microsoft. So
that makes sense. I mean, Microsoft obviously is all about the money. So who knows where they're going to take this game. I read somewhere that Mandela, I forget, what's the CEO of Microsoft name? Not Mandela, like Nelson Mandela. It's like something...
Nadia. It's Nadia.
Something like that. He stated that one of the reasons they bought Minecraft is because it's a learning experience, like all the redstone stuff, and like you can construct all these engineering things in the game. It's a really good learning tool and scientific tool. I'm not sure how much I buy that excuse, but maybe they plan on using it for something like that. But
But
obviously,
don't forget they're also buying the mobile versions and the console
yeah, all
versions.
the different versions under the sun. I mean, every single console has it now.
Yeah, and they're saying there's a little statistic on that article when it was writ in the last 24 hours. Approximately 7,500 copies of Minecraft for the PC were sold, and that's $200,000.
Yeah. So
So that's like bank.
who knows how it's gonna affect it? All I know is I haven't played in over like a month or 2 months. Have you played it
Yeah.
recently?
I kind of hopped on, and it's not really sparked my interest, so
Yeah.
kind of died out a little bit for me.
Ever since the EULA stuff, man. Ever since our server stopped going because we couldn't, support it through. Well, not
Yeah, we
us,
just
but
kind of hop on, play some mini games or whatever, and then hop off.
yeah, and
But now it's like, ugh.
yeah, and I used to host a server on my Mac Pro. I don't bother with it anymore. And Matt actually bought a server briefly for like a month or two, and he stopped. And I don't blame him. I mean, barely.
No one
play.
really used it.
Yeah, it was between the two of us. A couple of times someone else would come in here and there, but it really wasn't worth the $15 a month. So,
Yeah.
it's a shame because I started really getting into Minecraft. I got into it late in the spring. You got me into it like around April.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we got into it a little bit before that. We got into it last year a little bit, like October, around this time
little
last
bit.
year.
But
And that was when we first started up your server, but then we didn't use it for a while.
it was really in the spring when I started making videos
Yeah.
like weekly and YouTube. So, and then it died down, just like anything else. When you play it a lot, it just, I don't know, it's fun, but like after a while, when you start building stuff, it's like, okay, what do we do now? And then,
It's kind of like WoW. It's always updating, always changing.
yeah.
You played it for a very long time, then you kind of stopped. And then, wait, how long was your hiatus? It was like a year and a half, 2 years?
My cousin and I, we haven't played since like the last expansion came out 2 years ago. So, but yeah, about a year and a
Yeah.
half.
So, like a year and a half hiatus, a lot of stuff changed, a lot of stuff was added, a lot of stuff was taken away. And it was almost a new game by the time you went to go play it again. And I'm really hoping that helps. That's the case with Minecraft. By the time, like, I'm trying to look at this optimistically, and seeing that Microsoft has a lot more funds than Mojang did, so they can really focus on this if they see a lot of potential, which I hope they do, because literally has changed the indie game scene ever since it was announced. Indie games have gone from pretty much nothing to an explosion. So
Yeah, it gave
all thanks to Mojang.
it gave indie games a little bit more of viability. It's not like,
Mhm.
oh, it's an indie game, it must be a piece of crap. No, it doesn't mean it's
Yeah.
a piece of crap anymore. It could
Yeah.
actually be a legit game with a big cult following.
Yeah.
So the one thing I can say is now that Microsoft owns it, they spent 2.5 billion. They're not just going to sit on it. They're not going to make it go stale and stagnant. So they're actually for good or for the bad, they're going to make changes to it. Gotta
Yeah.
wait to see how that goes.
Like, they can promise anything they want, but they can also change those promises. So definitely, if for these people who rely on YouTube with Minecraft, I wouldn't be worried right now, because I feel like Minecraft and Microsoft don't want to change the IP too much, turn everybody away from it, because right now they're getting thousands of new players, new accounts every day. So I think it'd be kind of a waste of time if they were to change something so drastically from this.
See, that's the amazing part. After all this EULA stuff, after Minecraft has, I don't know, to all this stuff kind of died down, and maybe to other people it hasn't, they're still gaining users. That's saying something. I mean, a lot of times games, after been out for a while, everyone that really wanted the game have it, and it's hard to get those extra users. Like in World of Warcraft, they're at a point where they have older people, and people are starting to get off to stop subscribing, let alone forget about getting new people into the game. It's really tough. So that's a good sign, at least.
Yep, for sure. But I think we just gotta wait, let it run its course, see what it does. Hopefully by January we'll be covering a little bit more, if they change anything by then. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would be interesting to see if they pay more attention to console versions as opposed to the PC version going forward.
I don't think they will, because as successful as console versions have been, PC versions is always the step ahead, always has the newer features, and it has so many more people, so much bigger of a following than than console.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. But who knows? Maybe because they own Xbox. It's funny because remember when Xbox was supposed to be getting Minecraft? Xbox One was supposed to be getting Minecraft first, and out of the blue, PS4 got it like a day early.
Yeah.
And and then after that, the rumors were starting to come in that Microsoft was buying Minecraft. To me, it just seemed kind of funny. I thought maybe like they got so upset that like, oh, how can they do that? We're just gonna buy them or something like that. Obviously, that's not the case, but it'd be funny if that was.
Might be.
You
never know. Could be the case.
Seems like a very Steve Jobs-esque type of move where they just get so pissed,
Getting
just
back
snatch it up.
Snatch it up and then kill it off.
Yeah. Well, anyways.
It's like, oh, fine. If we can't enjoy it, then you can't.
But anyway, that's about it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Covered a lot. Been a great day with the iPhone launch. I got to go set up a new iPhone for my wife, so that'll take some time. But do you have any closing comments, Matt?
Just don't forget to follow us on Twitter right below, and also my personal channel's in the comments, and I know we're on your personal channel. So.
I will link everything below in the description. Our Twitter, his personal YouTube account, as always. So in case you missed us live, I'm always going to be uploading this the night that we go live. So we usually go live every Thursday night at 8 o'clock. This time was different because the iPhone launch is Friday, 8 o'clock. But yeah, if you can't watch us live, always on the recorded end the next day. So again, thanks a lot for watching, guys, and we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.